Trevor, I've now set this up so that we can do some side cutting.
Good one, Fred. But before we start, could you explain to me, how do I plan my cuts round the circumference?
Certainly, I'll show you a simple formula just to describe how many cuts we will make.
Great.
I'm using a cutter bar fixed into the lathe spindle by a Morse taper. This has a draw bolt to make sure it doesn't jump out of the spindle.
Are there other different types of sidebar?
Yes, they are working on several different designs, one version being screwed to the spindle, but they will all cut much the same as this one.
What sorts of shapes can I have for this cutter?
This one is a hollow form cutter, it's concave, but there's quite a variety, in fact, of shapes that you can use, and I'll show you some on a whiteboard.
Okay.
Number 1 will give you a hollow form shape, and this is the result. Number 2 is a variation of a hollow form and can be used in combination. Number 3 is a plain square pattern, while the other drawing shows the side profiles of each. You can make other shapes from high-speed steel on a grinder. There are 3 things now to check. The first one is to physically try to make sure everything is firm. The second is to make sure the detent is placed into the index head. And then after we've turned the machine on, we will be able to move the stops to be able to determine the depth of the cuts.
I see.
Make first cut about 12 millimeters or ½ inch. Back cross slide to stop, move detent around 4 holes, make the second cut until you reach the front stop. Before making any more cuts, check that the first 2 cuts overlap. Okay, Trevor, how about you having a go?
Okay. This is fascinating, Fred. I'm finding it quite easy to build up the pattern.
Yes, providing you think it through a little and concentrate on the indexing, it's not difficult to achieve.
Now, what do I do when I've completed my circle?
You move the work along until it just touches the edge of the previous circle.
Do you match the pattern exactly?
No, you can vary it with a step pattern by re-engaging the detent 1 hole along from the previous circle of cuts. This is the effect that you can get.
Yes, that looks very clever.